It's on. Welcome to the CPA meeting. Thank you for coming. First item is the approval of the minutes of August 31st. Does everybody read those minutes? And if not, does anybody have any objection to approving them?
No objection.
We need 5 votes to approve them. Both you and Harry okay saying yes?
Yeah.
All right. We can take a motion, please.
I move to approve the minutes for
August 31st.
August 31st. I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
You're all here for the batting cages, so there's no
Yes.
public speak, other public to speak? Okay. Communication and correspondence. We did get in our list of things, I noticed, that the clock tower project is being closed out. Since this project started in 2008.
Project Harry.
Project Harry. It's nice to know that the project is finally done. Yes, we've been on a mission to try and get projects done. Thank you for finishing the football field. Especially when there's 50 grand coming back. We like that. But anyway, this is nice news. So I don't know if everybody read that, but that's
So does that mean
there's no action we're taking. It's just that we're closing, that they're announcing the closeout of the project. And because that was done by Stewart, it goes through Jamie and Jessica. It doesn't have any other outside organization dealing with it.
Harder than usual to close out.
They're not looking for more cash?
Yeah, I think if you
Not that I
read
read.
it, it's not that they're closing it out because everything is done, but they don't have the money to do the rest of the renovations that have been recommended. So they did the things that,
So probably someone else would have to, or they would have to come up with a new project and a new request for funding, right? Okay. So that's done. Let's jump to the school department. Welcome.
Thank you.
We went over this the last time, the budget. The only item asked for, Nancy, you weren't here, but the only item asked for was item 8. Did you get a copy of the project funding agreement?
Yes, I did.
And item 8 says, to ensure public benefit for this project, when not in use by school groups, members of the public shall be allowed to use the facility in accordance with the school facilities usage process. Athletic director felt that was okay. That's important because the CPA is trying to make sure that there's a public benefit to any project we approve. So you don't see any difficulty with that? The other items on the project funding agreement are boilerplate we normally ask for. We do hope that you will follow through with signage that tells people how this was funded. And another reason to do that, and I'm all serious about this, is so the school department isn't questioned why they're building batting cages when there's other monies the schools could be using it for. Well, no, because the CPA is helping pay for this, which I very much am in agreement with. Because you might not get a batting cage, right, if we didn't have a CPA?
That's exactly correct, yes.
I was wanting the superintendent to answer that. I was looking at the athletic director, but I really wanted her. The funding would not, we wouldn't have a boardwalk if it wasn't for the CPA. We wouldn't have a lot of things, but I am very happy that the school department can take advantage of the recreational aspects of the CPA law that allows it to happen. But public benefit is very important. But that public includes a lot of the smaller youth groups that are going to use it. Okay. We wanted the committee to digest this and find out if there's any other questions from the committee. Any committee members have any questions?
Not here.
What's the cost?
There was a budget that came with it.
30,000.
Did you see the
Yeah, we saw the
So
budget,
it's
but then
36.
36,
But
30?
we're asking for 30.
30 comes from the
because
CPA.
you've got money from other sources. That's great.
$4,000 value for labor, which is volunteer labor. Is any contractors volunteering to do the work? No contractor work. No contractor work that's not being paid for, we're paying for it.
So the volunteer labor is for the installation of the batting cage itself.
You don't need any special contracting to do that.
No. The city did just suggest that we have volunteers sign a waiver of liability.
The volunteers would sign a waiver of liability in case something happened. Okay. You agreed with that?
Seems to make sense to me. No?
I don't think it's enforceable, but that's just me. You can't sign away your rights.
Right.
So, anyway, we have volunteers doing everything in town, so. No more questions?
I like the waiver.
It's good.
It's something,
Yeah.
so, not a bad idea, at least. If nothing else, it puts people, in a position of personal responsibility when they're working on a project that's
Exactly.
responsible property, so, I think it's a good idea.
We're not asking them to build a huge building. It's a small batting cage, so it's right. Okay, do you guys have any questions of us? This is too easy.
Well, here's a question. Do you want me to sign this?
I have 2 copies here that Jamie gave me. I'll give one down to you. I'll give them to you, you sign. I'll sign them both, and then you sign them, and we're done.
Can you maybe talk about next steps?
All right?
We need to vote, don't we?
Yes, we do. Can I have a motion to approve this project of $30,000 for the high school batting cage for the school program?
I move to approve the batting cage project for $30,000 as described in the project funding agreement.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That's good, since there's only 5 of us.
That's skin of our teeth.
This will be sent immediately to the mayor for processing. I'll go to the council. If I get it, hopefully, I'm gonna ask Barbara to process it first thing Monday so that it can get on our agenda for Thursday, next Thursday.
Next Thursday?
Because if it gets on our agenda, then it can go to the finance committee, which means that's October, right? I'm just trying to see calendar here. October 4th is the council meeting. October 11th, you should come to defend it to the finance committee. Now that's me and 2 other people. I don't see any problem with this, but that's your first meeting that somebody from the school department should attend. Now, if we don't get, if for some reason it doesn't make it to the agenda, which would be next Thursday the 28th, then it'll be 2 weeks before we'll get it. If we get it and we approve it on the 11th, I will set a public hearing for the 18th of October before the full council, which means that vote would mean it's done. If not the 18th, it would be November 1st. Do you anticipating trying to get this up this fall?
That would be our hope.
Okay, well, I'll try very hard to get it done on the 4th, so that it'll be approved on the 18th. And then once it's approved, it's a matter of you guys following through with the business manager, so, all right? Okay, thank you.
So, I'm sorry, the finance committee on October 11th, what time is that meeting?
That meeting's at 5 o'clock, right here. And full council's at 6 o'clock on the 18th upstairs.
So we don't need to come to the 28th or the...
No, the 28th is the deadline for me to get this on the agenda.
Gotcha.
With the clerk,
Got it.
city clerk.
Okay.
And that would be a matter of somebody downstairs Jessica and the mayor processing it on Monday.
Cool.
Okay, I hope I remember to write them, tell them to do that, but I will.
Is
Okay?
it still premature for us to talk to the vendors to line up product so that in the case that we can get this up this fall?
I would not do that if there was any penalty for you pulling out. The only reason to say that is I can't predict a vote. Of course. I can say that I doubt there'd be any problem, but, I mean, we approved, what was it? How much were the football lights? They were a lot more than this. So I don't see a problem. But
Understood. Of course.
government is a government. Okay?
Okay.
All set.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
You're
guys.
welcome.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Water bottle. See you, Kevin?
Oh, very good.
You're welcome. You're welcome, guys. Thank you, Nancy, for staying.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for showing.
Next on the item, other. I don't know, what did we decide the last time on Off the Map? What was in the minutes on that? Why is it still on our agenda?
I think
we
we just
decide-
haven't told them, that's all. We didn't, nobody from their end has come to us, and as far as I know, nobody from our
Has
end
the historic
has-
committee?
Yeah,
We told them no?
No,
All right, then.
but I don't know of any communication to them, the actual applicants.
I'm gonna move that we remove this from our agenda,
Yeah, I agree with that.
okay?
I don't think we're required to notify them of that. I mean, it's just
No.
taking them off the agenda.
If they ask, we'll say, well, because you don't have a storage. It's required that we have a storage division. So, all in favor? Okay. Put that in the minutes. And then Jamie will list it. Now, the annual meeting is next, the 21st, right, of October? Or the I'm sorry, but the 19th of October. And it's upstairs. And the preservation plan is what we're going to be discussing. So she did a nice thing, sent us this red line document. Things like, we have spent $51.31 million in private, state, federal, and other funding sources. The CPA committee spent $6 million to leverage $51 million. That's pretty
That's pretty good.
outstanding.
It's awesome.
It is. When you think about it, if we didn't vote this in as a community, $51 million of improvements would never have happened. All of them, well, except for the Southampton where we did the community preservation, where we are in Easthampton.
I got into a, shall we say, heated discussion about that land of Southampton that we bought. And we went to.
We didn't buy it. We bought
Sure.
we bought the preservation.
Yeah, yeah,
The what do you call restriction?
yeah.
What are you talking about?
The
Well, there's a
Southampton.
realtor that was all over me about the CPA, taking land off the building, where you could put houses on. There is not much land in the area, and there's no reason in the world that should have been done. Now,
Was he a developer?
Huh?
Was he a developer?
Yeah, more or less, I guess.
That's why.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's probably why he didn't want us to do it.
Exactly. I just told him, I said, look at, well, you know, I can't really see what.
Yeah.
For a single source water supply, I think it's a good idea to protect that.
Absolutely, absolutely. But this person thought it was overdone, it shouldn't have been done.
To give you reasons.
Yeah, he said there's no reason that, there couldn't have been homes built on that, and we could have still saved the land for the water, because, you know, Gulfing always comes up because you've got all the homes out there on Hendrick Street, you know, out in the flames. Well, that's not for the aquifer, so it's a 2 more homes.
Well, I would differ with that assessment, but okay. Let's look at this. Have you guys been able to look at it at all? Do you see anything? She crossed out the one graph the pie graph, put in a new one, for instance. A lot of dates were crossed off. I mean, it looks like standard stuff. The one thing I wanted to ask her is if the project list at the very end, the appendix, if any of that has been updated. I'm sorry, it's a long document, and I gotta get to the end of it.
It looks like she did.
Good maps of stuff. Land for protection. What does green mean? This thing has been removed? Resources.
Yeah, moved, screen, additions, or moved.
It's a lot of work. I need to update it.
It's nice to be able to see all our projects in one spot.
Do you have the whole thing there? Oh yeah, I'm looking at it. You're not seeing the entire, you need to open this. This is huge. Document itself. Tons of stuff.
Yeah.
That's the preservation plan, and that's what she's been working on, changing.
Well, this is.
Oh, you do have it all.
I have it.
You have it all. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay. I was looking at the list in the back, 'cause it's weird.
One thing that I was gonna ask her was, and maybe I just missed it, we talk about the town hall upper second floor, and we talked about that being a $4 million project, and I didn't see that in here as something to anticipate coming up. I see where we spent 50,000, 125,000 at town hall for windows, doors, and things. These are projects we've done.
You think the second floor is because maybe it's a 5-year, is it because it's so far out, maybe?
I don't know. That's the question I have. Is it something? Because this is about projects that each area is, like housing is looking to do. So I thought maybe I missed it. We did spend $102,000 on the Majestic Theater. See that?
What?
No, we didn't.
What is that? Is that anticipated? cost?
Yeah, so I'm looking at this and I'm wondering whether that should be in there. These are all, it says total projects under review.
Under review.
Pending final approval.
So that should be crossed off because we just said no.
It
Is
should
that what-
be. It should be.
Right.
Really, the only, so the three things that are in that section that are not crossed off are the batting cages, which we
Mhm.
just approved, Majestic, which we just removed, and the Pomeroy Meadows pedestrian bridge, which is sort of
That's on hold.
on hold. So I actually.
But that's an anticipated project that we haven't said no to.
Yeah.
That's what this is about, right?
This is projects under review or pending final approval. I think it gives the wrong idea to, when they're not even on our agenda, to have them listed.
You want to ask her? Well, I definitely want the Majestic Theater one removed. We just voted to get rid, to say no to that.
And the batting cages should go up to the ones that we, if we can bump it up to our approved project list. And then I think we just get rid of the projects under review or pending final approval. I think the only reason that we would include something there is if we were literally on the cusp of approving it. And,
I would agree with that. I mean, the batting cages was the only thing like that was on the verge of being approved.
Correct.
Everything else wasn't even close.
Right. So I think it sort of sends a strange message to include
I wonder
the
if she's
Majestic.
required
and,
to keep these?
pedestrian bridge. I don't think so. I think she just, they're in the works, or they're out there, so she threw them on there. But I'm inclined to remove that whole section of 5 pages to approved.
what I don't, I guess I don't see the title of that. I see up above, Eckerdale Orchard 217 open space. We approved that.
Projects under CPA committee review and/or pending final funding approval.
Oh, I see. There, I see it now. It's a page thing. It's, that particular title should be, in my view, on top of the next page.
Yeah.
Because I had lost it.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
got it. So that whole section, let's ask.
There's no need for it, actually, I don't think.
Why don't we ask her to remove it?
If it was politic, we had a big project that everybody knew about, that we were about to approve, and it felt weird to leave it off this entire preservation plan.
And the
then
Pomeroy
maybe we could do
Meadows
this, but,
pedestrian bridge, that's
okay.
just,
This is holds.
it's on hold.
right
That's a
now.
conservation commission issue, or?
Well, I think it's a lot of issues. There's so many permissions they need to get.
It's a bridge to Southampton, right?
Yeah, and if the application's been
Bridge
pulled,
over troubled water.
if it's an application that's been pulled, it shouldn't be on here.
I'm not sure it's been officially pulled though.
I don't see it here. We have a section, active applications and inactive applications. And both of those on our agenda do not include this. So I think in the minutes, the committee is questioning the need for projects under CPA committee review section. Since the batting cages were approved and the Majestic Theater renovation was not approved or removed, and the Pomeroy Meadow Bridge is not active or inactive, as far as we know. I think that should be in the minutes, and then I'll ask her about it.
I think it's, yeah, when I hear projects under review and/or pending final approval, those are active projects, at the very least. That's the threshold for being
I would
in
agree.
that section, and neither of those are active, so I just think we need to hold on.
I'm glad, though, to have this whole list. But the other one I said, as I said, the one that's not under historic town hall preservation and restoration exterior, elevator and handicap ramp for the historic town hall, 300,000.
Where is it?
Second, I'm looking under page 26, top of the page, historic town hall preservation and restoration. Exterior and second floor renovation, seeking multiple funding sources, but no dollar amount. I don't know if it's necessary to put a dollar amount, but there's a dollar amount on a lot of these projects.
26.
I guess I don't want anybody to think that we're trying to hide the dollar amount.
Wait, 26? Page what?
My page 26 in my PDF. It's under Appendix C, priority project lists. Starts with affordable fair housing, and then the next page,
Yeah,
Parks and Recreation, School Department, etc.
yeah. And after that,
Parks and Recreation, the next page says Historic Town Hall.
It says 26 on the bottom of the page. So
where's town hall?
Next page, keep going, right here, that's it. That's what I'm looking at.
That's part of other city departments and city administration.
I guess so. It's historic preservation. But my point, my only thing for bringing it up is, should we ask her to put in estimated cost, whatever the millions is,
Well,
and in the sense of being open with our, those people know about it.
we disapprove money for design.
Yeah, and that's
This
not
one.
there, is that there? That must be in the project's
It
approved.
should be in the project ready to look.
yeah, that's missing.
In the project's approved.
Yeah.
It would be Old Town Hall second floor design,
Yeah, it's in there.
$341,000.
It's
It's there.
Something up from the bottom.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So the final project, after it's designed, there's an estimate of $4 million. Do we want to be totally open about that? That's a huge project.
No, because I don't think all of that is coming from us.
It can't come
That's
from
what I
us,
was
it has to
gonna
come
say.
from grants and things
Yeah.
like that.
All right, good. That's, I just wanted to ask, is that a good reason?
Yeah,
All
well,
right.
when you get a final figure, then we'll.
Yeah.
What's coming from us, okay. And they haven't been trying to hide it either,
No.
but I think that good catch on that, Greg, for the last page. Other than that, I think we can approve this as is. It's still a draft, because at our open, if I understand it, the meeting we're gonna have, the open meeting, people might wanna say something that's included.
That's where the public input comes, and that would possibly change this.
And that doesn't prevent us from ESCO making additional changes.
That's correct. Based on what the public brings to us, we can make additional changes.
Okay.
I support that.
Okay.
So we shouldn't vote on this now, we should wait till that.
No, there's no, I was just looking, there's no reason for us to vote. It's just
Feedback.
planning for the annual meeting. So I don't know whether we're having any applications, so that will be the discussion. I'm hoping, like we did last year, some people show up. I'll ask her to send out another notice, and it's upstairs again.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, I think we're ready to go. Thank you very much, everybody.
Motion to adjourn?
All in favor?
Aye.
John, you seconded it, by the way. So I have to write, Jamie, what do I have to write, Jamie? I'll write it right now.
Final table.
Get the,
That case was approved, we can bump that up. Short and sweet, I like it.
Yeah, five
Even
member
with
meeting.
even
is
with a late start, right, yeah.
Yeah, even with a
This
late start, exactly.
Empty room.
let me turn this off.